This video is for our review for gravity, inertia, and orbits. So you should either have this paper from the science drawer or you can work on this in Canvas. So you can use the text tool and the drawing tool here to complete it. It'd be easier if you have it on paper, but this will work as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to read through this together. Then you are going to pause this video. You are going to complete your work here. Then you're going to come back and you're going to give yourself a grade after I explain what each grade looks like. So this is very similar to the test we're going to be taking. You can get up to 4 points for each of these questions. So I'll go through and show what a 4, 3, 2, 1 looks like. And so you'll give yourself a grade. What is the reason you gave yourself that grade? And then you will write a goal. What are you going to do on the test the next day in order to get the grade you think you should be able to get. So let's go ahead and get started here. So number 1 says that we are going to communicate and model. So communicate means to explain using words, and model means to draw and label why the moon orbits the earth. So we're using the moon and the earth. So writing about it and drawing it. So this means that I can explain how gravity and inertia work together to create an orbit. So we are going to draw a model with correct labels to show how the moon orbits the earth. Be sure to include arrows and labels. So in this first section here, you need to use words, complete sentences with correct scientific vocabulary, gravity and inertia, and orbits. So explain, what is gravity, what is inertia, how do they make an orbit? Then in the second part here, you are going to draw a model of how the moon would orbit the earth using arrows and labels to show how this works here. So go ahead and pause and do that, and then come back when you are ready to give yourself a grade. So let's take a look at some examples here. Now keep in mind, these are my examples. Yours will look different because we do not have the same brain, and that's what makes us awesome. So you decide which is yours closest to, and you're going to circle the 4, 3, 2, or 1 on your paper. So let's start down here with a maybe, there we go, let's go look at a 1 and a 2. So a 1 just says orbits need gravity. That is true, but it's not all of it. So it's not correct information. It's missing a lot of it, or it's not true. So if you don't have all of the information, that's a 1. A 2 says something like gravity pulls objects and inertia moves them. True, but it didn't say anything about orbits. It's missing the part about orbits. So that's a 2. So let's come look at a 3. Gravity and inertia work together to create an orbit because gravity pulls in the object. While gravity is pulling in the smaller object, inertia is making the object move forward. That sounds pretty good. So let's take a look at what makes a 4 here. Gravity and inertia work together to create an orbit because gravity pulls in the object with the smaller mass. Oh, so they added in that extra vocabulary word. That's what made this better than this one here. While gravity is pulling in the smaller object, inertia is making the object move forward. The pulling and forward moving motion create an orbit. So again, they just restated that and kind of gave it a conclusion. So this is good. This is just a little bit better. Okay, so gravity, right, pulls us in Inertia makes us move forward. Together, that makes an orbit. So this just used that better vocabulary. This was good. It told me what gravity was. It told me what inertia was. Together, they make an orbit. But here, it just used a little more vocab and a better explanation. Here, it just didn't quite answer the question. And here, it didn't give me all the information. So then part 2 was it needed this model. It labels, here's my Earth, here's my moon. Gravity pulls it in. So it's labeling, gravity pulls it in. It's labeling, inertia makes it go forward. Together, they make this orbit. On this one, it just labeled gravity and inertia, and it didn't tell me what gravity and inertia do. It just said gravity, inertia, and it didn't label the orbit. Good, better. Okay, so let's take a look at a 2. So here it has has arrows, but no labels. Those arrows don't mean anything to me when they're just pointing. Okay, we have to label. So when somebody looks at the picture, they know exactly what these arrows are referring to. And this one didn't have any arrows or labels like if you were asked to. So on your paper, you need to decide what were you closest to, a 1, 2, 3, or 4. So remember, 3 is grade level, 4 is above. So what was the reason you gave yourself that grade? What matched? Why did you match? Then write yourself a goal. Now remember, goals are not get a 4. I have a goal every day to be a millionaire. I can't just say be a millionaire. That's not going to make me a millionaire. What are you going to do? Are you going to, I need to save my money. I need to stop eating at Taco Time. I need to stop shopping at Target. What are you going to do? Do you need to use more vocabulary? Do you need to make sure you answer all of the question? Do you need to make sure you label? Do you need to make sure that you use the scientific words? What are you going to do? So don't just say what grade you want. That's not a goal. What are you going to do to get to that goal? So go ahead and finish up this section here, and then we will go on to the next section in the next video.